Today we are going to paint a sunset scene. In addition to the previous lesson, then we were painting a sunrise. Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch, watercolor artist, teacher and a book author. Welcome to my studio. And sunsets, they're usually much warmer. The sun is hot, the earth is hot, it was heated all the day, therefore it's a lot of heat, a lot of warmth in the atmosphere. Clouds are much intricate, more dramatic. If you think about famous picture of Edvard Munch, The Scream, that's a very bright example of a sunset. Not all sunsets are that dramatic, but they are much warmer than sunrises. That's what we need to keep in mind. Again, subtle horizon line, small dot to map out the future sun. And then I glaze my paper with water. And while water is distributing into the fibers of the paper, I will mix my paints. I will use cadmium orange, same as I did before, as my main color. But in addition to that, I will also use permanent red, vermilion. All these red orange paints will be very helpful. Some yellows, gambosh yellow, these very warm yellow paints. It's nice to prepare everything in advance. I would like to use more of ultramarine blue mixed again with cadmium orange for the clouds. And for the sky I will use some cerulean. I will use cerulean, just add it to my mix. I will add a couple of brush strokes on the very top. I will wash my brush. I will start to add some drama on the sky, some brush strokes with yellow, brush strokes of orange, and now I'm basically playing around with different hues of orange. And the more I get to the middle, there is my sunshine, the brighter, more intense can be colors. Basically, the very middle, the horizon line, can be almost red rather than orange. I can distribute them, soften them, add more sky parts on the sides. I want to add a bit more of drama in the sky. I add a couple of yellowish spots. Yellow is very strong paint, it can push away some paints, but cadmium orange is my medium, my paint number one when I'm painting these scenes. I want to add more of the sky, ultramarine blue. When it mixes with orange, it's getting more gray, dusty purple. Great to add it in between to shape the clouds a bit more. Just painting on the top of the orange, And if you see something greenish happening, it's also nice to add some more of these grayish purple mix on the top. Now let's find the spot for the sun, and as we did before, I just prepare. I squeeze my paper towel. I find the spot which I already lost. Let's see. let the sun be somewhere here. Lift up. I would like to add very bright red spot to the horizon itself, a bit around. And now I would like to add clouds. Again, ultramarine blue, preparing nice mix. The mix can be much warmer, it feels a bit more brownish. Let's paint some clouds. If your mix is too wet, you can dab your brush onto paper towel and paint the clouds. The clouds are pretty heavy. They feel heavy. You can create this texture just tipping your brush on the paper. Don't forget that they can be so very different. Some clouds on the top, a bit more on the bottom. Add some red into your mix. Clouds can get more of red glow in them, especially closer to the sun in this area. With clean damp brush you can soften slightly some spots if necessary. If you like, you can add a bit more of variety to the clouds. Right here I would like to add some red. Once your paper is getting dry, it's very important that you force yourself to stop. Let's paint the bottom part. I will add some water. My mat has some angle, so the water flows down, which is very important. I don't see that stripe of the sun, I don't see that glow. It has a little bit of warmth right underneath. We already have that glow. I will start with some yellow spots, orange, light orange, very light for the sky, for the reflection on the sky, but light, much lighter than I used for the sky, for the clouds. Then I just add my grayish mix. I move my brush horizontally. Even water has a warmer feeling. So when I mix my ultramarine and cadmium orange, the proportions are slightly shifted to the orange part. It's still a lot of blue, but it has some shift in the temperature. Now I can add a bit of orange stripes with relatively dry brush. It goes quicker. I would like to dry it completely. Once paper is completely dry, we can repeat the trick with mountains. Add some mountains to the horizon line. What's important is to cover all small spots of white paper which might be left, and also some unevenness. For example, right here, I don't like so much what's happening here, therefore I will just add extra mountain. Just think about some variety, nice elements like this. Some of greenery on the top, of mountains maybe, if you like. Let's remove paper type. Now we have very dramatic scene of sunset, and we have a sunrise. I think it's interesting to compare. Basically, the place was about the same. The sky was around the same, clouds. We used basically the same paints, but what I always kept in mind that sunrise should be cooler and calmer, and sunset can be bold. So I hope you liked to paint both sunrise, sunset. Tell me what is your favorite, whether was it easy or complicated to paint any of them. Share with me your thoughts. Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the process. I'm looking forward to see your feedback. What would you like to paint next? And see you soon. Bye bye.